Lieutenant Huber gives me a smirk, so sour I can almost smell it. He says, I talk to you bums like the lowlifes you are, grieving or not. And I have my doubts that criminals even bother to grieve anyway. You need a conscience for that. Ever grieve for anyone, Gold? Do you feel it like regular people? My right hand's twitching inside Mom's, ready to slip from her grip and put my knuckles into Huber's face. The pleasure of blackening his eyes and bloodying his mouth would be worth whatever crap I'd have to endure in the city lockup. But Mom's hold on my hand tightens. The wisdom conveyed in her grip calms me down. I say, why don't you leave us alone, Lieutenant, so I can help Mrs. Scheinbaum arrange for her daughter's funeral? Show a little heart, if you got one left. The nastiness in those hooded eyes boils up from where Huber's soul might have been before it rotted away. Go ahead, he says. Plan your funeral. He can't resist sneering at me again as he walks out of the dining room, passing so close to me, his bared teeth nearly scrape my face. Mom and I don't move a muscle until we hear Huber say to the rookie, we're finished here, followed by the slam on the front door. Mom takes both my hands between hers. She lowers her head. Her silver hair tumbles forward. Her shoulders fall slowly as if she's exhaling a lifetime's worth of breath. A thin wail seeps out of her. She's still holding my hands when I sit down at the table, but I slip my left hand away to stroke her cheek. The muscles in her face feel loose, exhausted, her flesh clammy and limp. But it's Mom's tears sliding down her cheek and seeping between my fingers that get me, warning me of her breaking spirit. Cantor, she struggles to raise her head. Cantor, how could this happen? Tell me. Mom's sing-song English of the old-time Lower East Side is the music of heartbreak, every word a note from an aching soul. My uncle was so full of life, and she grew up so beautiful and smart. She was so smart. She had the high life of New York at her feet. Making a fist of her right hand, Mom presses it between her teeth to stop from choking on her despair. I'm scared she'll bite down so hard she'll make her knuckles bleed, so I try to take her fist from her mouth. She fights me, but I hold on until she finally lets go. Can't go, she says, between sobs as heavy as boulders. Opal was my precious girl. I never knew you even had a daughter, Mom. I never saw her around the house. Where was she? Why didn't you tell anyone? What? So she could be a target for the cops, those Cossacks. Harassing a little girl just so they could get to me. Or maybe she'd be picked off one by one of my bloodthirsty competitors so I'd give up my business. No, we wanted Opal safe. We wanted her to get an education, so we sent her away to a fancy school upstate. A first-rate establishment. My sister and her husband looked in on her. They have a place a few towns over in Kahanxen. They moved up there soon later to open a little tourist business in the mountains. Blick's Cottages. A Kocherlein. You know such a place? Sure. One of those cheap vacation joints where guests cook their own meals in the hotel's kitchen. Yep, that's it. My sister Ida looked in on Opal while she was at that fancy schmancy school. We had to enroll her as Opal Shaw. Something, huh? This country. A child grows up with a name that's not hers, just so she can get ahead in life. Mom punctuates her resentment of this arrangement by yanking her hands from mine and wiping her tears with her knuckles digging deep. I take my cap off, start to put it on the table, but remember, Mom never allows anyone the bad manners of putting a hat on the dining table, not even the mayor. I shove my cap into my coat pocket. Mom takes a handkerchief from a pocket of her robe, wipes her eyes, then winces when she looks at me. "That hair of yours," she says, "like an old broom. You're still a savage, Kento, an American-born savage. Even Isaac thought so." My Isaac. She sighs, looking idly at the hanky. "He died of pneumonia when Opal was maybe 9 years old, away at school already. You were a kid yourself, a teenager. Thank God Isaac didn't live to see this night. He only wanted Opal should grow up and be happy." Maybe she was happy, Mom. Tonight was going to be her wedding night. Sick adored her, you know. Him? I didn't want her to wind up with a man like that. A killer, a murderer. She shakes her head and dabs at her eyes again. "Isaac and I waited a long time to make a baby. Until we had the money to bring it up right. Pay for a high-class education, buy her nice things. I wanted Opal to have the big American dream. Mingle with the first-rate people, not with hoodlums like you." "You didn't seem to think this particular hoodlum was so bad," I say, stroking her cheek again. She bats my hand from her cheek, and with a tisk, she says, "Don't kid yourself, Kento. You're just a mug. No better than all the other mugs I've had to deal with." "What?" she says, addressing what must be a peculiar look on my face. "You think just because you're in the fancy art business, you're not a mug? I remember when you still had Coney Island sand on your shoes, tracked it all over my carpets. I didn't want my Opal anywhere near a schlepper like you." Even after I got cleaned up? I try to make it funny, opening my coat to show off my expensive, well-tailored silk duds. But I feel like a circus clown with a painted-on smile. Especially after you got all cleaned up. First with the men's suits, then all those girls you were always running after. You'd think I liked seeing stuff like that. You'd think I'd let you go sniffing around my precious girl. I wanted Opal should grow up normal. Now even the painted smile can't help me, can't shield me from the axe Mom just used to split me open, spill my entrails all over the rug. The wild, mischief-making kid I'd been, and the outlaw I grew up to be, have just been dissembled bone by this woman, this mentor, this teacher, this mom who used to pour me tea and serve me honey cake and let me pour my teenage heart out about my butchy ways and unrequited high school crushes that my own tradition-haunted mom and pop would never understand. This woman who right now, in that frilly black lace robe, looks as hard-hearted as a black widow spider who just might eat her reductant young. It takes me a minute to rally, to take my breath back, put the pieces back in place. Some parts don't hook together anymore. No matter where in my memories I try to fit them. I finally give up trying, pulled back by the sing-song drone of Mom, still talking. But what could I do? The minute Opal and that murderer laid eyes on each other at that nightclub I took her to,